Good morning. Welcome to a very special episode of Life in Surround. Why is it special? Well, because I'm not at home. I'm on vacation, and I'm taking you along with me. I'm in beautiful Indio, California this morning. I've been hanging out in Joshua Tree, Palm Desert, Palm Springs, La Quinta, and Indio for 5 days with my family and friends, playing golf, climbing rocks, looking at a gorgeous national park, and hanging out at pool parties and stuff, just having a great time. So I wanted to bring you along, and besides that, this is really the only time this week that I'll have a chance to shoot a review of Jethro Tull. What a tremendous set. Maybe, possibly the best in the Jethro Tull booklet, Deluxe remixing surround sound series. This thing is awesome. Bottom line up front, as I often like to do, tremendous value for this set. I was not familiar with the album before checking out the deluxe version, and there are people who really only like super duper classic Jethro Tull, like Thick as a Brick, and the synthesizer sound of this record can be off-putting to them, but I love it. I can't help but compare it to Signals by Rush. Coming right after Moving Pictures, they chose to do something very different and to incorporate a lot of synth into their sound, while keeping acoustic drums though, and even employing some violin, and leaving plenty of room for some rockin' guitars. So I consider this to be like the Signals of the Jethro Tull catalog, and since I absolutely head over heels am in love with Signals, it's no big surprise that I would also, dig into this record and really enjoy it too. So let's talk about the set a little bit. You get 6 discs, 3 CDs, which have the album remixed by Steven Wilson, and then the entire Los Angeles Forum show, I think, from the end of the tour, from the end of the US leg of the tour. So huge value there, but you also get 3 DVDs. One of them has the album remixed in stereo and surround by Steven Wilson, and 5 associated tracks. Like a couple of them are just alternate versions of the same songs, but you also get some different songs. 3 of the associated tracks are mixed in 5.1, not all 5. Alright, so as I was saying, 3 DVDs. One of them has the album and associated tracks. The second one has this really goofy but enjoyable TV program from the time called Slipstream. It's the entire Slipstream show, and it is mixed into 5.1 very, very, very well by Steven Wilson. You can also hear the original stereo soundtrack, or maybe he remixed the stereo as well, but it's the original video quality, so don't expect miracles there. It is enjoyable. And then the third DVD has the entire LA show audio only. You get to see stills of the band, but the entire show mixed Steven Wilson live style. Not as discreet as like a Steven Wilson concert or a Porcupine Tree concert. He was careful not to expose limitations of the recording. Let's put it that way. So, but you do get important musical elements in the surrounds, just not as crazy aggressive discreet as you might expect from his previous live mixing. But definitely a cut above just putting, ambience in the surrounds and the band up front. And then for the album itself, you get your typical Steven Wilson aggression. vocal, often isolated in the center, dry, and supported with a more ambient vocal in the surrounds. You get Martin Barre, isolated really well up in the front right, getting him well away from Eddie Jobson's violin and synths, which tend to occupy like the front left and into the surrounds, like all around you. So it's nice now more than ever, having gone back and heard an original mix of this album, to have Martin Barre showcased, really bringing that rock guitar sound and making this album feel less 80s and less synthy than it once did. And in fact, this album began life as a Ian Anderson solo project, and he recruited Eddie Jobson because he was super impressed with his performances when UK opened for Jethro Tull on a previous tour. But as he began working with Jobson, he began to feel like Eddie might swallow the record and kind of make it a solo Eddie Jobson record. So Ian Anderson recruited Barre to lay down that Jethro Tull rock guitar and kind of bring balance to the force. And so you end up getting Martin Barre, Ian Anderson, and Dave Pegg from the uber classic lineup. And then you have Mark Cranley beating the crap out of his drums, and Eddie Jobson on synthesizers and electric and acoustic violin. Just amazing. Between like three really astonishingly great lead players, Ian Anderson on flute, of course, flute and flute vocal, like the way he plays and kind of sings into his flute is just incredible. Eddie Jobson, just a monster on violin, and not too shabby keyboard player either. And Martin Barre laying down some pretty outrageous guitar leads as well. There are times when Steven Wilson causes those lead parts to have movement around the room and to even interact with each other with a great deal of separation, but just really strong interplay. So, man, the album in 5.1 has an incredible mix. It sounds awesome. I don't love that these sets top out at extended DTS, which is 96.24. I wish it were lossless, but if that keeps the cost down and causes the label to pull the trigger, then it honestly to my ears sounds fabulous. One of these days I'm going to do an extended DTS versus lossless LPCM or DTS HD Master, because I think I have an Anathema record for which I have both. I'm going to do a blind shootout for you soon, and we'll see if I can even tell the difference. So it's not too big of a bummer that these sets come with DVD video. You get a 140-page booklet full of this fascinating essay, of which I've read maybe a fifth. Lots of cool anecdotes. Ian Anderson goes to great lengths to try to convince us that Eddie Jobson likes women. I think he may have tried to drive that message home a little too strongly, so I'm not sure what he was doing there, but it's definitely a fun read. And here's Mark Cranley, recruited from the United States, one of the states up north, I think maybe North Dakota, I'm not sure, so forgive me, don't quote me unless I'm right. But then also bear in mind that I try to fit at least one inaccuracy into every video. So awesome booklet. You get stills from their promo sessions. You get stills from their live performances, which again you can also see when you watch the DVDs. You get a very, very brief bit about mixing from Steven Wilson. You get images of the master tapes, which are my favorite. You get some master tape porn. And yeah, that's where Steven Wilson talks about how, oh, here it is. Here he is, Mr. Steven Wilson, talking about just making an effort not to expose the limitations of the live recording, and how much he respects that Ian Anderson tried something super different with A. And in my opinion, Anderson pulled it off. I think he pulled it off way better than Wilson's The Future Bites, which really bites. But anyway, if you're gonna like go out on a limb and try something different, it's not always going to resonate with all your fans, and that's cool. That's cool. Anyway, man, what a great set. What a great set, and it's such a tremendous privilege to be able to consume it and enjoy it, and then share that enjoyment with you, man, and to share this like beautiful morning with you. Oh yeah, flying in on a chopper in their jumpsuits. Like, oh my gosh, he really had this like, I don't know, this kind of gimmick going where he wanted to showcase the band as like some sort of strike force, and it's really charming. And here's Eddie Jobson on his see-through violin. Yeah, what a great set, man. I almost like couldn't love this more. I almost couldn't love this more. There are some people who want to nitpick and wish that you had like the full video footage from the concert, the LA Forum show, but I mean, maybe it doesn't exist. So I'm happy. I'm happy. A by Jethro Tull, the a la mode deluxe set. I recommend it. I found it for, I think, just under $40, and there are folks who are finding it for under $30. So get it while it's hot. Get it while it's available. These sets go like astronomically super duper expensive if they become popular enough. Like, try finding Thick as a Brick. Maybe even Aqualung might be like super duper expensive out of print pricing. And then some of the less successful ones, like Too Old to Rock and Roll, can be found like cheap, maybe even to this day, but for a much, much longer time. But I have a feeling that this one's gonna catch fire and become unobtainable at a reasonable price. So go grab it. I have no affiliation with the label. I don't do any partnership. So find it wherever you can find it, cheap enough for your satisfaction and fast enough, you know, for shipping and everything, and then just go for it. So don't forget, if you haven't already, subscribe, ring the notification bell, like this video, smash that like button. Thanks, Egret. Smash that like button, leave your comments. I want to know what you think about the set, and other viewers do too. Any interesting tidbits that you have about this era of Jethro Tull, or just whatever you want to say. I enjoy reading and responding to comments, and I'm sure that others do too. And man, just find it, enjoy it, and as always, live your best life in surround.